Alright, I'd like to call the Walton Board of Education regular meeting to order. Everyone, please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, moving into roll call, let the record reflect 3 board members are present. Next, I'll move into the approval of the agenda with a motion to add under U and move adjournment to V. U will now be motion to accept SFCC offer of assistance. May I have a first?
I'll make it.
First by Jamie. Discussion or questions?
Board members, I want to apologize. If you recall, in the spring, when the legislature was meeting, Kevin worked really hard, I worked hard, and even went down and testified before the Senate Appropriations Committee, trying to get us additional funding. Several districts in the state received additional funding to help them fund facilities. That the planning for those facilities started pre-COVID, and prices went through the roof, and projects in some districts couldn't begin, some had to be scaled back. So we were trying to get some additional funding. We were unsuccessful in getting, I'll say, significant funding, but we did get an SFCC offer of assistance for $24,000. Now, I don't know what we can do with $24,000, maybe build a room closet or something, I don't know.
40 square feet.
40 square feet, there you go. But the board has to vote to approve this. As you can see, the date on the letter that I gave you, it's April 21st. This completely got by me. So I apologize to the board. Kevin has corresponded with folks at SFCC. We get your approval on this tonight. He can complete some paperwork with SFCC, and we can get it. So I dropped the ball. I apologize.
Yeah, the only other thing is that at some point in the future, the last kind of thing that we'll have to do is approve a revised DG1 for the intermediate school project to list this as a funding source for something we've done. And of course, there are several other things on there. I'll make that adjustment when it's time, but we'll have to do a revised DG1 for that project anyways as it kind of finalizes. So.
Thank you. All right, may I have a second?
I'll make it.
Second by Megan, all in favor? Motion passes 3-0. Moving into audience of citizens, we have none. Moving into our attendance enrollment report, did everyone get a chance to take a look at that? Did you have anything? All right, moving into our construction report, did everyone have a chance to look at that? Anyone have any questions? Moving into our superintendent non-work days, everyone get a chance to. All right. Moving into personnel, there is a lot happening there.
A lot.
Yeah, there is. I think I looked at it 3 different times, trying to remember everything. All right, moving into other, Dr. Baker, do you have anything?
Just to kind of piggyback on what Heather just shared, this is hiring season. We still have vacancies posted for a special education teacher, high school Spanish, high school math, and 3 custodial positions. And I'm concerned about all of them. Jeremy's already completed 5 interviews for those 3 custodial positions, and he's going to complete some more interviews after the 1st of July. If you know of anybody, can help share things on social media. We are in the market for some talent.
So remember the math posting, was there a posting for the custodial position, like they did the math one? Was there one like that? And I just missed it?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
Tricia does those typically are in a call, so we'll get that out as well.
Okay, okay.
And Rodney
Yeah.
did not want people to know he was retiring at the last.
Obviously.
And he didn't want people to make a big fuss.
Surprised me.
That's the most recent part of the custodial.
Did I miss something about the students, that part? The personnel that I saw?
We
I mean, I'm fine with it, I'm like, did we talk about this, did I miss it, did I?
We added or increased the student pay on the salary
Right.
scale
I remember that. I
this
saw that.
past month. And I believe there was some discussion about having some student workers help either in like the main office, just answer the phone in the summer, help paint, things of that nature. So we have a really small number of students, I'm gonna say 5
Yeah, they're
students
very
going
good.
this summer.
I just saw it said custodial, and I was like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Is this just for the summer, or
Yeah,
is this
just
because we
summer,
lost some? Okay,
just summer work.
all right.
Right, I just wanna thank those who worked the Juneteenth celebration. It was super hot. Again, Kevin, I'm so sorry, I couldn't stay longer, I had to ditch you.
That's fine, it ended up wrapping up around 4:30, the whole thing
Oh,
was kind of,
good.
it was supposed to go till 6, but
Yeah.
I think it kind of, it was just so hot, I think the vendors were just kind of exhausted by then, and they kind of started to wrap up the crowd and started to leave, so.
Oh, okay, well, good. I thought about you guys at like 5 o'clock. I'm like, I hope they're not still there.
We had lots of water and meter, you're good.
Well, that's good. I just want to thank you guys for spending your Saturday there. I know it made for a long day, so thank you guys for that. Does anyone else have anything? All right. We will move into our recommended board motions. First, we have the approval of the minutes, May 20th, 2025, regular meeting. May I have a first? First by Jamie, discussion or questions? May I have a second?
I'll make it.
Second by Megan, all in favor? Motion passes 3-0. Moving into the approval of the superintendent's expense report. May I have a first? First by Jamie, discussion or questions? May I have a second?
I'll make it.
Second by Megan, all in favor? Motion passes 3-0. Moving into the approval of change order 1, Walton Vernon District Office renovation. May I have a first? First by Jamie, discussion or questions? May I have a second?
I'll make it.
Second by Megan, all in favor? Motion passes 3-0. Moving into the approval of pay application 4 for Ashley Builders Group, Walton Verona District Office renovation. May I have a first? First by Jamie, discussion or questions? May I have a second?
I'll make it.
Second by Megan, all in favor? Motion passes 3-0. Moving into the approval of the treasurer's report. May I have a first? First by Jamie, discussion or questions? May I have a second?
I'll make it.
Second by Megan, all in favor? Motion passes 3-0. Moving into the approval of the orders of the treasurers, the bills. May I have a first? First by Jamie, discussion or questions? May I have a second?
I'll make it.
Second by Megan, all in favor? Motion passes 3-0. Moving into the approval of insurance carriers for fleet, property, general liability, umbrella, workers' compensation, and cyber insurance coverages for 2025-2026. May I have a first? First by Jamie. Kevin, did you have anything you wanted to add?
I think the only comment I want to make, and I kind of put an explanation in
Yeah.
the email about like why things went up, because we added, the most expensive building we've ever built and that kind of stuff. So that was certainly part of it. Just along with general insurance cost increases across the board, out in education certainly, but in the world in general, I think. And then the only other thing is my recommendation, we had 2 options on the cyber coverage. The company that we had this year was about $1,000 more, but the deductible was $40,000 more. So I think it's a win-win if we lower the deductible by that much and save about $1,000 on the premium.
Agreed. Does anyone have any questions? May I have a second?
I'll make it.
Second by Megan, all in favor? Motion passes 3-0. Moving into the approval of job description for safe agent. May I have a first? First by Jamie. Excuse me. I just want to clarify for everyone that's watching that these are not new positions that we are creating. I know I received some questions about this. These are just job descriptions for existing positions or positions that did exist that are still out there. So that way we just have descriptions on file for any reason we ever needed any of them. So I just wanted to cover that real fast. Do you have a second?
Oh, my kid.
Second by Megan. All in favor? Motion passes 3-0. Moving into the approval of job description for occupational therapist. May I have a first? First by Jamie. Discussion or questions? May I have a second?
Oh, my kid.
Second by Megan. All in favor? Motion passes 3-0. Let the record reflect Mr. Turner has arrived at 6:11. Moving into the approval of job description for payroll clerk. May I have a first? First by Jamie. Discussion or questions? May I have a second?
Oh, my kid.
Second by Megan. All in favor? Motion passes 4-0. Moving into the approval of job description for communication/student information coordinator. May I have a first? First by Jamie. Discussion or questions? May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Megan. All in favor? Motion passes 4-0. Moving into the approval of job description for high school bookkeeper. May I have a first? First by Jamie. Discussion or questions? May I have a second?
Second.
Second by David. All in favor? Motion passes 3-0. Moving to the approval of the 2025-2026 payroll dates. May I have a first? First by Jamie. Discussion or questions? May I have a second?
Second.
Second by David. All in favor? Motion passes 4-0. Moving to the approval of contract for Mobility on the Move LLC 2025-2026. May I have a first? First by Jamie. Discussion or questions? May I have a second?
Oh, my kid.
Second by Megan. All in favor? Motion passes 4-0. Moving to the approval of the MOU between Stoic Health and Wellness, Treeside Health, and Walton Vernon Independent Schools, 2025-2026. May I have a first? First by Jamie. Discussion or questions? May I have a second?
Second.
Second by David. All in favor? Motion passes 4-0. Moving to the approval of the Walton Vernon Independent Schools 2025-2029 Certification Evaluation Plan. May I have a first? First by Jamie. Discussion or questions? May I have a second?
Second.
Second by David. All in favor? Motion passes 4-0. Moving to the approval of emergency certification for one full-time high school foreign language teacher for the 2025-2026 school year. May I have a first? First by Jamie. Is this because they didn't pass again? Or
We have,
a new person?
we have two Spanish teachers that are in slightly different situations, but at the end of the day, they're both having a lot of challenges passing the praxis.
Yeah,
The listening and speaking portion of the written portion.
right.
Due to COVID, there were some extensions afforded people in their situation. They could renew emergency certificates.
Mhm.
But we are running out of time, and one of them may be out of time. Really, I haven't wrote it out today, it's my first day back.
Yeah.
So I haven't gotten a full update, but there's a reason we have four language posted right now.
Yeah. Mhm.
So,
Okay. Thank you. May I have a second?
second.
Second by David. All in favor? Motion passes 4-0. Next, we have the first reading of the KSBA 2025 Policy and Procedure Update. May I have a first? First by Jamie. Discussion or questions?
It's lengthy. That's it.
Yeah, just kind of refresh the board's, but it's an annual event. The legislature meets in the spring. They make changes to existing laws, approve new laws, and that has a trickle-down effect. Once the legislature adjourns, folks at KSBA, their attorneys, their policy consultants, kind of, they're sequestered, looking at, okay, what changes do we need to make to respective policies? And I will say, I've shared with Josh Schultz at KSBA, it's frustrating because we got this on a Friday afternoon at about 4:30 at the very end of May, at our May board meeting. So our two readings are June and July, when some of these technically take effect July 1st. And this is an annual event, but every year it's a pretty significant update. I've been through this, met with district office staff, and we're comfortable with the recommendations. There are some, I'll say some things in here that have raised some eyebrows. Traceable communications, we are required to offer a platform where our staff members can communicate with students electronically on platforms that we can monitor in case there's an accusation. We spoke to all the principals and supervisors about this on June the 6th at our year-end admin meeting. And the principals understand, we document that everybody's been trained, because if a staff member communicates electronically with a student on a platform that we can't trace, then I have to do some things. So we're doing what we're supposed to do on our end. We have obviously school email, class dojo, there are multiple platforms that we already provide. And what my thought on this is a very good protect teachers and staff members from accusations. I'm choosing not to look at this as a big brother thing. We don't ordinarily monitor communications between students and staff unless there's an accusation. So that is one policy, for example, that has raised some eyebrows. There are, like I said, they're pretty lengthy,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
if the board had any other questions, I think I sent you a Friday update, kind of a synopsis, a brief synopsis of each of these. Again, they've been adopted or recommended, I should say, by KSBA, their policy consultants, their attorneys, so I feel comfortable recommending them to you.
I mean, I don't know about anyone else who's used talking points, but I think talking points that we added for the high school has been fantastic, or at least for my experience, I thought it was fantastic.
It is their intent to keep using them.
Yeah.
That's a good example.
Yeah. Does anyone else have anything? All right, may I have a second?
Second.
Second by David, all in favor? Motion passes 4-0. Moving into the approval of field trips, may I have a first? First by Jamie. I like when they're super early. May I have a second?
Second.
By David, all in favor? Motion passes 4-0. Moving to the approval of common carrier Delta Airlines for FBLA national trip to Anaheim, California. May I have a first? First by Jamie. Discussion or questions? May I have a second?
I'll make it.
Second by Megan. All in favor? Motion passes 4-0. Moving into the approval to accept SFCC offer of assistance. May I have a first? First by Jamie. Discussion or questions? And this piece of paper is real handy.
Yeah, just Mr. Turner's benefit, I dropped the ball. This should have approved in April or May. Didn't happen, so you need to do it tonight. It's an offer of $24,000. We can build a room closet or something with that. But I hate not to accept. Sure. Thank you. My apologies.
May I have a second?
I'll make it.
Second by Megan. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 4-0. Moving to adjournment, may I have a first?
I'll make it.
First by Jamie, discussion or questions? May I have a second? Second by David, all in favor? Motion passes 4-0. We are adjourned at 6:20.